What do people do when they're concerned that they've worked in maybe one of these industries that Dave's talked about?
Yeah, that's what really makes this disease so shocking. The exposure happened, a decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, 4, 5 decades ago. And a lot of the exposure happened, when people were young. They got a summer job, they worked in roofing, they worked at a plant for the summer, they cut asbestos piping, they got exposed to asbestos, and then they went on and did other things, and they weren't exposed for basically decades. But that asbestos fiber had got in those individuals' lungs, had lodged in the lungs, and at some point in the future, metastasizes and becomes mesothelioma. So it is they call asbestos the silent killer, right?
Mm.
Because it is silent for so long, and then all of a sudden it comes up and rears its ugly head. But if you were exposed to asbestos decades ago, there's really nothing you can do. But the good news is it's a very, very rare disease. And
Mm.
so if you're worried about getting asbestos, I wouldn't. You're probably not going to get it. Hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions of people, were exposed over the last couple of decades to asbestos, and it's still relatively a rare disease. However, once you have been diagnosed with mesothelioma, that's when you really got to take proactive action to seek out the best treatment, the best facilities, the best doctors, and start dealing with it. You're going to have living expense issues, you're going to have medical expenses. And so you need to get help, and you need to get help quickly so you can help pay for that. But in terms of just worrying about symptoms, coughing, those things, you're probably not going to have mesothelioma, and you can really rest assured put that to the side.